Except the open your attention. Listen to me. I listen to people it's not working like that. It's working. Bag go round. Ici là je go round. I'm telling you. You know what? No moto de pas de moto de pas de Yes. Correct. Yeah, the water, the water, the bread, you are doing yourself. Okay. So can I do that? Maybe I found okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll see you later. Before, what I also like what I to present from the beginning, what I. But now, the president is in the field, no send them.
See, Thompson rescue. See, Thompson rescue. Who don't know why? I'm telling you, I was realizing. I'm a rich girl, like what? You made a how a rich. What's up, man? You made a serious? Why? My friend said, okay, yes. Okay, let's get together. My friend said, get together. I see one wireless mic. Okay, thank you. When is camera? city.
Unless if someone just tell me to find your own way.
Check the director.
It's on here. What the distance is?
And if you cannot remove and make you can't forget. But see. For this,
See the audio here. As they plug in, I should remove it. I should remove the audio. So they had me from the river. They purposely do that to stupid people.
this camera, this one. Where this camera? This one.
The one they used to that last week. That last week.
Okay.
I think that.
My camera. This one, I wish me they have this.
No, this one. No, TVC.
That's cool. TVC. I think get out.
No,
Give
this
it
one.
now, back.
This one.
So you this one. Can you show me that?
Go do it.
Close and all of us. You can now.
Okay.
Are you going there? Yeah, I'm here. Nothing you go get for that place.
Where?
I don't know. What do you go do? I didn't know.
This thing is here. It's from the other thing from the show. Now that we just go to the country around. No.
Welcome back to the Nigeria Desire Studio here at the International Conference Center, which also happens to be the venue of the INEC National Coalition Center. We have had some rather short break, and Professor Attahiru Jiga, the INEC chairman, is given this break in respect to allow the coalition officers for Sokoto and Delta states, who are the outstanding states remaining, to finish the reconciling their figures with the Secretariat of INEC with respect to the figures of the presidential election results. As while we wait, joining me in the studio is Elder Peter Godsday Oridabe. He is the lead PDP agent to this coalition exercise. Mr. Elder Peter Oridabe, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Around 11 o'clock this morning, and you made a very big observation and protested the conduct of affairs of the coalition process. And it would be nice to hear it from you, because at that time there was some little drama to it. But now that you are in the studio, what is exactly the background to what you are saying? Because you, if I can recall, you said the APC did make observations and protests with respect to results of River State, and INEC obliged them and constituted a committee to go and investigate. And it appears PDP had some protests, but they were. What exactly is the background? And for the benefit of records and our viewers, let's hear it from you.
Well, my brother, thank you very much. You know, it's unfortunate that Professor Jega had to force us to come to this level of reaction. PDP as a party, we have always talked about the unity of this country, the needed peace in this country, and that's what the leader of the party preaches at all times, right from when he became vice president to active president to president to date. That is the thing he has always preached. And we expect that in a situation like this, an umpire should be very, very clear in terms of what he is doing in managing the process. All what we require is fair treatment, equal treatment. That's the only thing we talk about. Now, remember that the APC sent an electronic copy to the PA of Jega about the happenings in River State.
Was that the mode that they transmitted?
Yes, that was the way they transmitted their protest. And Jega jumped into it and quickly set up a committee to go to River State to go and find out what exactly happened. We had a lot of reports from our field officers, from Kano, from Kaduna, from Jigawa, from Sokoto, where young men and women below the voting age were printing, stuffing ballot papers in boxes. The presiding officers were forced to sign documents. People were prevented from voting. We had all these things written down, and they were sent peacefully to Jaga's office, the main electoral INEC office.
Through what?
Physically, with the hard copies. We went to their secretariat.
To his office
at INEC headquarters. First at INEC headquarters. And they refused to accept the papers. They refused to accept the protest papers. And they said that they were instructed not to collect any protest paper from anybody. We came back here and we peacefully went to him. They say we have observed certain things. And this is the protest.
Someone or you went to him?
My colleague, we are two here. Dr. Bello went there. And I approached him. I said, we have gotten these reports and the party has written protests. We went to the office, there was nobody there. How can we get these things to you? Professor Jaga directed him to meet his PA. To sign for him. The PA signed for it. And then later in the evening, one girl came and threw the protest papers on Dr. Bello.
This happened when?
This was in the morning.
Today, Tuesday morning?
No, yesterday.
Okay,
This happened in the morning. This happened in the morning. And in the evening, they brought these papers and threw on him. So we say, how can Jega be double dealing at this point in the crucial election of this nature? If a party wrote the petition, all what is required of him is to say, let's look at it, the merits and demerits of that petition, and take actions that are reasonable, to take. But he didn't do that. When it was time for APC, he did that. When it was time for PDP, he said he wasn't going to take it. And he sent a text message to Dr. Bello that he will not accept it. That was number one. Number two, there's a paper that is being circulated. It's in the internet now, where APC has already formulated the result, the presidential result. They have already put it in place. And if you look at the result, it's what we did yesterday, and the ones we are not done. It tallies with the result that we did yesterday, and the ones that have not been done. So you see, how can we have these things? What is your stand? All what we needed to hear from him was an explanation to look into our protest, and he said he was not going to do it. We approached him, peacefully. So what we did was to demonstrate to the world that this Jega that we thought that was doing something good is now veering off the road. All what we did was to see how we can bring him back so that he can do for Nigerians what Nigerians are expecting him to do.
It took about 30 to 40 minutes for you to accept that proceedings should continue, for you to even accept that Professor Jega should respond to your protest.
You realize that he was refusing. He said he was not going to respond. So he wanted to continue. He wanted to continue with the announcing of other results. Until I said, you must address this matter.
Are you satisfied with his response?
Of course, because I will get back to my paper, to my party. I will get back to my party. What is the party matter? I'm here as an agent. We'll get back to the party. The party will analyze the statements to make appropriate pronouncements on the thinking of the party.
Before you get to the party, Professor Jega made two key issues he raised in his. He said the procedure for going to send a protest should not be for any agent or any party to bring the protest to him here at the coalition center, because coalition is ongoing. So what the party or an agent should do is to take it to the office of the Secretary of INEC. Are you about doing that, or you've done that?
Well, we've already done that. If yesterday, it's because of our action, that's why he's doing that now. If yesterday his mind was free and he said, look, gentlemen, this is what we have done, our secretary is in the party, go and give it to him. I told you, we went to the party, there was nobody. We did everything to submit there was nobody. And the people we even met there rejected, our protest letter. And that was how,
the secretary.
Yeah, there was nobody. He wasn't there, and there was nobody. Of course, of course, it is expected that in a sensitive office like INEC, and in this period, we expect somebody to be there at all time, 24 hours, to be receiving complaints from the parties and from anyone in Nigeria. But there was nobody there. And that's why we came to approach him, in a peaceful manner. And the man changed his color. And that's why I said, no, that is not what we expect from you. You must do what is right for the people of this country.
Now your protest is with respect to results of Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, and Sokoto.
There are other ones that have come in now. There are other ones that have come in now. As we were here, Kebbi, as we were here, the party has written and they have gone to the INEC secretariat. We hope that they will be there to receive the protest letters. And then we take it.
So you said there are other ones. You mentioned Kebbi. Is there any other state?
There are other ones. When you look at the content of the petition, you'll see it.
Can we have a copy of the petition?
You can't have it now. It's with our party official. Maybe by tomorrow, if they are still coming here, I'll be able to give you a copy so that you can have a look at it.
But so far, generally the other trends of the results, what's your comment?
Well, the results are being collected, and we expect that at the end of the day, we as agents will go back to our party to confer with our party, and it's the party that is going to make a statement on their thinking, their feelings about the entire process.
Elder Peter Godsley, former Minister of Nigerian Affairs. Thank you so very much for coming on Nigeria Decides Studio here at the INEC National Coalition. And it's nice to get your response, but even though it's we've been on you for several hours and minutes.
You know we have been busy too.
But they say all is well that ends well, because at long last we will have you in the studio. Thank you so much for your comment.
Thank you very much.
At this point, I understand we are still awaiting the with respect to regulatory aspects of the coalition of results with respect to Sokoto and Delta states, because those are the outstanding states remaining. We have already gotten results from coalition officers for 32 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. And while we wait for the reconvening of the INEC National Coalition Center, I will take you back to the studios where my colleague Wilfred is there with the resource persons. Maybe they have some and comments to make with respect to our very august visitor here in the studio.
Thank you very much, Kudu. And like you said, they are all that ends well. And that is one of the notes that we're going to get back into the studio. And we had the discussion there between Kudu and everybody. And like Kudu summed up, all is well that ends well. Is it?
You're not expecting me to make a comment on that. I don't want to make a comment on that interview. I wish you can say it.
Over to you.
Well, I think it's good that NTA has afforded Elder Gosdale the opportunity to respond or to ventilate his grievance. What necessitated is trying to hold up the process in the morning. It's left for Nigerians to make a sense of what he has said, whether they agree or disagree with his actions.
Yes, well, no, listen, just when I talked about the process, the procedure, if there is an established procedure, through which agents will require a channel protest, and going by what the INEC chairman said initially, he talked about the fact that they're supposed to have been sent to the secretary. Is there a procedure really?
No, but it's even if there are no procedures, it's common sense that an election is going on and you have a letter for the commission. The office of the chairman is not the place to send the letter. There's a secretary of the commission who ordinarily will be available. If she's not available, there are the staff in our office that will receive correspondences and then transmit them to. If you are a former minister, there are things that you know. It's like somebody coming to give who has a letter for the DG of NTA. And then you take it to the chairman's office when you know he's not there. When you know there's a registry, there's a place letters are received, they are stamped, and then they are transmitted. If you want to, so when you break that procedure, especially when you are somebody who has attained that level of high office. It's something that's why I didn't want to make a comment on that. But basically, I think what's important is that the international community, young people are watching us. It's important that we model our actions and communication in a manner that builds rather than destroys.
No, it's a good thing that we've moved on from that, and we just talk about this whole issue of resolving conflicts. One of the things that actually kind of also had to do with the issue of Rivers State, and the INEC chairman spoke about how that was resolved. What do you think about the process now?
I want to commend the Electoral Commission for that step, because you observe that there have been street protests in Rivers. We have had, in fact, if they are going to rate states according to their level of violence in these last Saturday elections, Rivers will rank number one. And I'm not talking of physical violence as in destroying and killing and maiming. And even the lives were lost in Rivers, but even psychological violence, structural violence have been on the spiked in Rivers. So I think the chairman looking into the petition of APC in Rivers was in a way is a conflict management strategy to say, okay, we have received. Just yesterday, APC women were tear gassed by the police on the streets of Port Harcourt. And prior to that, even the governorship candidate of APC led the protest, including a serving senator, led the protest to the office of INEC chairman, office of INEC in Rivers State. So there's a build-up that the tension has heightened, and there's a need to douse that tension. And the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission deemed it fit that, okay, we have received this, we will going to look into it. And so he set up a three-persons committee, three national commissioners.
And the speed at which they worked,
And because there is no time.
Yes.
The time is of essence. Like I said earlier, the entire global community is waiting on Nigeria to see how we make a success of this process. And I'm very happy that good sense has prevailed, and we are at the threshold of making history as giant of Africa in trying to conclude this electoral process. But it's good that attention was given, even when you look at all the allegations leveled by APC, none of them were found to have had merit, at least in the eye of the three-member committee that INEC set up. And the speed with which they worked is really, really very commendable.
Okay, we can anticipate that, most likely there are going to be, more protest arising from these results, I mean, with the results almost, the declaration almost attaining the apex, the climax really. Is there any way in which this can be resolved before then? Because naturally we're likely to have more protest over results.
No, it's not given that we'll have more protest.
I'm just anticipating.
Yes, and then the mechanism for resolution of electoral disputes are already very clear. And incidentally, the opposition candidate has had, seriously has engaged that system in almost every election. So there is nothing out of place if there are disputes and people test out those issues at the electoral. What's important is that there is peace. And when I said it's not given, because it also has to do with the nature of the contestants. The contestants and their party will decide that we want to move on. We want to be statesmanly. We want to and that's what we encourage them to do. Like in some way, I've been traumatized over this period, emotionally, in every way. We are here we started an afternoon shift to run till whenever this whole process is over. It's taking a toll. You can't wish it away. We all are paying enormous price for something that we should just get by. So it's important that we get over it. For the first time in the history of our country, people hugging. We want to see that happen, and move on with our life. So it's protests will be there. Like Professor Jega keeps saying, and which I agree with, is a sociological situation. Nobody is expecting that it will be, perfect all through. There are issues. And then talking about the protests you talked about, in the PDP protests, we have not had them say elections did not hold. In the places they have issues. What they have raised are issues of process and infractions. But the APC made a claim that you cannot ignore. The claim is that the elections did not hold at all. Okay. So you can't run over that and say, when they say election did not hold, you say, okay, I don't care about that. You need to establish immediately that the resources that you put in rivers, you understand, was not wasted, because the commission is here, people are there. It may turn out to be true. So we sent out people. This is a huge sacrifice that these people will travel, do a report immediately, at least substantially. So it belongs on the APC to now begin to put up whatever they have if they want to test it out, through the electoral dispute mechanism that is on the ground. But so you want to look at, and Professor Jega talked about the scale of the protest, that the one that they could not ignore was that elections did not hold. Every other infraction in an electoral process, there's a procedure. In fact, when you start writing to INEC, it's in fact even a breach of procedure, because what you should do is a misplaced procedure. The umpire has taken his decision, he has blown the whistle, the goal has been scored. You go to the election petition, you go to the and the panel can't even, in fact, in most cases, reverse the goal. The goal has been scored. So it's just for academic purposes that sometimes you do all of this. I think Nigeria is at the threshold of history, and we should just simply wait with bated breath to see where this goes to, and move on with our lives.
Okay, that history is still unraveling, and part of the reason why it is still unraveling is the fact that there are some other states that have not come in with their results. But the civil society has been keeping an eye, on the developments all over the country. And I'm sure that you must have monitored the elections in Sokoto, Delta.
Observed.
Observed. Is it? What is the difference now? Monitored, observed. Which is different?
The difference. The monitor. The monitor. Yes. The people that monitor the election are staff of the election management body.
Okay.
They are the monitors because they can interfere.
Okay.
In the EA. Okay, fine. The observer does what he observes, he looks, sees, and takes notes. It cannot interfere with the process.
Okay. So let's say you observe the process.
It's very important to always put that out.
It's technical, but it's I think it's appropriate that you put it in context.
Yes.
So if given your experience, you observe the elections there and coming from the situation room, because this is just still have not come in really. What was your observation of the elections in at least Sokoto and Delta, two of the outstanding states?
The reports that you get from the field is what fits into the situation, and also the other observer networks that we are linked to. You have the TMG, you have election management, the election situation room, and many other observer groups that are involved. So the reports, especially in Sokoto, is that it's peaceful, that people came out massively. In fact, what I heard was that the mobilization was that after prayers, don't go back to your house, just go straight to the polling unit, and that quite a lot of people did that. In Delta, you know that Delta is riverine, a good chunk of Delta is riverine. So results coming from there, you may not expect them to come as quickly as in places that are landlocked like Sokoto. But I think by and large, we have not had, like in Rivers or Akwa Ibom, that the kind of thing associated with in Delta. The complaints have not been that huge in terms of violence. Largely, I think it's been peaceful.
Yes, okay, and also the good news also is that you talk about riverine areas, Bayelsa, Reef, and all that. We actually haven't had anything untoward, happening in the riverine areas. It's as if it's been smooth, logistic-wise, that's gone very, very, very.
People don't tell their stories, though. can let it. The entire story about what happens in the riverine areas is never told. It's said in hushed tones, but it's okay. It's part of the challenge that we get doing this work.
So we have how many states left now? 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, I don't know. We are saying 2. We had the ones that are established, like we have Sokoto and Delta as stranded. Maybe Borno. I've not had. Maybe I missed it. But I don't think we have taken Borno as well. But Nigerians are waiting. I know for sure that this exercise will be concluded today, and then we can have our lives back and we can return to normal living. It's been very exciting. It's also been very demanding, exacting on us. Because again, when you see elections are, in fact, beyond and above, a lot of commercial ventures have been held in abeyance because of elections.
Nigeria has been on hold. People cannot stock, buy goods because they are afraid. Even the toll it has taken on the capital market, where we have lost trillions in terms of capital flight. People, because of the uncertainty of the elections, we don't taking their money. I just wish that they felt that we do have elections and all of this. Exactly, I look forward to that. Egypt last May on the auspices of AU. Elections in Egypt were held over 3 days. Initially it was scheduled for 2 days, but it had to be extended by another day. And people went about their normal business. Elections were held between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And collation is very simplistic civil procedure, so much so that people were having fun. They were coming to the polling booths with their children. They were taking photographs as they are dropping. It was, of course, it was heavily militarized because of the threat from the Islamic Brotherhood that were dethroned, the Morsi, but it was still very lively. Very my cousin told me a story in Lagos about some young man going to hold the ballot box, that thinking that some people they were trying to protect the ballot box, and people told him to get out of the place. People told him to leave the ballot box and nothing will happen, that they can even go to their houses and come back and the ballot box will be there. It's gotten to that. In the area here, people were buying sachet water for each other and all of that. But let's take it up a much higher to that point where we are able to simply do elections and we don't have to get into the overdrive that we are getting into that. Well, okay, while we still wait for the signal to go back to the center, do they, is it possible to isolate really what factors has played out, has led to what Izzy has talking about? You mean the positive? Yes. The camaraderie that were displayed at the polling. I think it shows that we are maturing. Our politics is maturing. We've had 16 years uninterrupted, and we cannot wish that away. It's unprecedented that we have successive elections, the 5th one for that matter, unbroken. We've never had that. This is the 4th republic, and that's worth celebrating. Well, I believe that we've got the INEC signals back on air now, so we should be going back to the International Conference Center to declaration of the results for the presidential election.
And 15. Sokoto State is made up of 23 local government areas. And during that elections, the 28th of March, 14 political parties fielded candidates in the contested elections. I will now announce the total results, beginning with the total number of registered voters in Sokoto State. It's stood at 1, 6, 6, 3, 1, 2, 7. 1, 6, 6, 3, 1, 2, 7. The number of accredited voters is 9, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9. And now the scores of the political parties that contested this election. AA 2, 4, 9. 2, 4, 9. ACPM 5, 3, 5. 8, 7, 1, 4. 7, 1, 4. ABC 7, 6, 2. 7, 6, 2. APA 3, 4, 8, 2. 3, 4, 8, 2. ABC 6, 7, 1, 9, 2, 6. 6, 7, 1, 9, 2, 6. CPP 1, 8, 9, 4. 1, 8, 9, 4. Hope 2, 3, 8. 2, 3, 2, 8, 0. 4, 7, 5. 4, 7, 5. MCP 6, 8, 6. 6, 8, 6. PDP 1, 5, 2, 1, 9, 9. 1, 5, 2, 1, 9, 9. PPM 6, 0, 5. 6, 0, 5. UDP 2, 6, 9. 2, 6, 9. UPP 1, 8, 0. 1, 8, 0. Total number of votes cast 8, 3, 4, 2, 5, 9. Total valid votes. Total valid votes. 8, 3, 4, 2, 5, 9. 8, 3, 4, 2, 5, 9. Rejected votes 2, Total votes cast 8, 7, 6, 3, 6, 9.
Are there any reported incidences or cancellations?
Yes. Yes, sir. A total of there are cancellation of results in a total number of 16 registration areas, and the number of affected polling units was 25. There are 4 registration areas in voting and local government with 11 polling units. In Gadan, 1 registration area and the 2 polling units in Bor. In Isa, 1 registration area, 1 polling unit in Bor. In Rapa, 3 registration areas and 3 polling units. In Shadari local government, 1 registration area, 1 polling unit. Sokoto North, 3 registration areas, 4 polling units. Sokoto South, 1 registration area, 1 polling unit. Toyota local government area, 2 registration areas, 2 polling units. In all, number of registered voters in these were affected by this cancellation stood at 12,928. These cases were largely cases of snatching ballot boxes. The case of the ballot boxes was only returned after a day. And there are also cases of violence where the officers were beaten up, they have to be rescued by security agents. And also some overvoting in some polling units. And these have been properly documented. And the officers did not unilaterally cancel these, they consulted with the various agents, especially in areas where there was a breach of peace, which could not allow, it could not guarantee the security of the officers. So this is my report, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. You may now submit the report, the results.
Thank you so much. Let's check Thank you so much.
Next, please.
The 35th state chairman, Delta State, and Professor Mabolaji Aliko was the Delta State Collection Officer. Professor Aliko, please. Good evening, high table, especially the chairman, ladies and gentlemen present. My name is Bolaji Aluko, Professor Bolaji Aluko. I'm Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Tokyo in Bayelsa State. My state of assignment as Presidential Coalition Officer is Delta State. The number of local government areas in Delta State are 25. 14 political parties took part in the presidential election in that state. Should I continue? Because I can just introduce myself, but I think I went beyond that.
Please proceed, please. I think you are appropriately introduced. Secretariat, can you zoom the Excel sheet, please? Okay, good. Thank you.
The total number of registered voters in the state was 2044372. The total number of accredited voters was 1350914. I will now proceed to announce the total votes of the political parties, party by party. AA 1467. ACPN 916. AD 735. ADC 888. APA 478. APC 48910. CPP 813. Hope 166. 311. NCP 670. PDP 121145. PPN 393. UDP 354. And last but not the least, UPP 261. I want to say again that the total number of registered voters was 2044372. The total number of valid votes was 1267773. And the total votes cast were 1306013.
Rejected, please. Number rejected.
So the number rejected was, I'm sorry. The total valid votes was 1267773. The number of rejected votes was 17075. And the total votes cast was 1284848.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. Are there any incidences or cancellations?
Secondly, there were incidences in 6 different local government areas out of the 25. In the Far East, it had area code 11. In the Far West, it had area code 12. Papali, it had area code 16. Sapele, it had area code 17. Udu, it had area code 18. And Warri Southwest, it had area code 25. In Ndukwa East, the entire local government, the results were not accepted because the commission was done only by the electoral officer without the presence of the coalition officer. In the West, 2 polling units. So in the East, 50738 registered affected. In the West, 2 polling units were affected, and the number of registered voters 1712. In Papali, there were 11 polling units affected, and the number of registered voters in those polling units were 5670. In Sapele, the 20 polling units affected, and the number of registered voters in those were 6324. In Udu, 17 polling units affected. The number of registered voters in those were 15744. And last, in Warri Southwest, there were 4 polling units affected, and the number of registered voters were 2443. A total of 169 polling units affected, and a total of 82631 registered voters affected in this election. All of that are put on Form EC 40G2, which I'll be prepared to submit.
Thank you so much, Prof. We may now submit the results.
Thank you so very much. This was a continuation because there are more than one page. That's true. So you just put them this way, and then
Okay. Now, all cancellations have to be initial.
there were not many. They weren't really cancellations. They were highlighted. There were no cancellations. This was a highlight. They didn't change anything. I just wanted to check. I can initial. Of initial yes, we didn't put a stamp, but they said we can do that later.
Thank you so very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Next. All right. I have completed all the results that have so far been brought. I think there is only one outstanding, and I understand that it may take 1.5 hours to 2 hours before we may be able to take it. So we will remain here until it arrives so that we can take it. So thank you very much. All right. I think it's safe to say we'll start at 8. Just to be on the safe side, yes.
Once again, there is another break. Professor Tahiru Jega as the INEC chairman, and at the same time, the presidential returning officer for the 2015 presidential election is adjourning the proceedings here at the INEC National Coalition Center for another 2 hours. It is likely the proceedings will reconvene at 8 this evening or thereabout. But before we take you back to the Nigeria Desire Studios with our my colleague and the resource persons that are there, let me very quickly take you through the 2 results with respect to Sokoto and Delta states that were presented by the coalition officers of those states. Sokoto State has total registered voters of 1,663,127. Total registered voters of 1,663,127.